we are going to look at a very difficult TOEIC question. This is advanced. Now, before we start, please share, subscribe, like, but I will give you the tips to solve it. Okay, let's look at this question, 112. Now, pause your screen to look at this. All right, so you have enough time. So this is an extremely difficult question, so I apologize. We can start with grammar rules and go on from there. So we can give ourselves a 50% chance. First, let me give you an example of a couple sentences. After although, you need subject verb, and after despite, you need a noun form. For example, although she was hungry, she didn't eat. Now, I can also say with despite her hunger, she didn't eat. Despite being hungry, she didn't eat. Despite how hungry she was, she didn't eat. So you can see after despite, you need a noun form, and after although, you need a subject verb. Okay, so we know that. However, if you have although, subject, be verb, plus past participle, which is usually ed, then you can remove the subject plus be verb. Let's look at an example. Although I was distracted by the noise, I was able to finish the work. Now notice the subject is the same. It says I. And then it says, although I was. Well, you can say, although distracted by the noise, I was able to finish the work. You don't have to, but you can. Let's give another example. Although he was given a raise, so that's more money at his job, he still wanted to quit his job. Although given a raise, he still wanted to quit a job. However, we do not go although verb ing. For example, if we say, although he was walking, he got there faster than me. We do not say, although walking, he got there faster than me. We could say, despite walking, despite verb ing. Okay, now another note is you can also go although subject be plus adjective, but you can take out the subject and be verb before the adjective. Let's look at an example. Although I was cold, I stayed outside. Although cold, I stayed outside. However, you do not say although being cold. Therefore, because we know we don't go although verb ing, we can eliminate A and D right away. We can eliminate A and D. So now at this point, you have to rely on vocabulary, collocation knowledge, and context. So this is where it gets really hard. Now, we know that the sentence is either although she was sentenced to 5 years in prison, or although she was punished for 5 years in prison. Now, both could make sense grammatically, but one is much more logical than the other. The best answer here is B. Let's look at a common phrase. A judge or a court sentences someone to punishment. So the judge or the court says, you will receive this punishment. For example, the judge sentenced the woman to 10 years in jail for speaking out against the government. Terrible. The court sentenced the man to pay a $1,000 fine. The judge sentenced me to 3 days in jail for throwing a rock through a window. Okay, I made a mistake. 1 rock. Now, so if the judge sentenced me, I was sentenced. So I could say, although I was sentenced to 3 days in jail, I didn't learn my lesson. I could also say, although sentenced to 3 days in jail, I didn't learn my lesson. The problem with punished for is when you punish someone, it is not continuous. You can't punish someone for 5 years. That would be like every day you punish them, you punish them, you punish them. So it's not really logical to punish someone for 5 years. You can punish someone and then hurt someone for 5 years. So generally, when we use punish for, this is the reason. For example, the child was punished for stealing. The child was punished for yelling at his teacher. But we don't punish someone for amount of time because a punishment is one time. It is quick. So it would not make sense to say, although I was punished for 5 years. I could say, although I was tortured for 5 years. So once again, the best answer here is B. Okay, sentence 2. The court sentenced the woman to 5 years in jail, although she was sentenced to 5 years in jail or prison. Then we can take out she was. Okay, so this is a difficult question, some tough grammar. You might need to watch this twice, but good luck on TOEIC. This would be one of the hardest questions. All right, everyone, have a great day.